Hello guys, in this video we'll see how to read and write files using Visual Studio. So let's get started. Let's create a new project. Let's select a Windows App Form .NET Framework. I'll give the file solution name as file operations. I'll change the path and create. I'm creating the solution now. So the default form is loaded. So the idea in this file project will be like we'll try to read and write basic text files, okay, using Visual Studio with our VB.NET, okay. So for this we will need three inputs, like three text boxes, one for getting the file location, and another text box for showing the content of the file, and third text box will be for saving a new file to a different location. Okay, so let's get started with the designing part. So first I'll drag and drop the heading. Okay, so let's have a heading. So I'll just change the label one as file operations in Visual Basic .NET. Okay, let's change the font as well so that it looks bigger, bolder. I'll change the color as well. So this will be our heading. I'll change the form style as well, okay, so that I don't need the control box and all. I'll change the form style as fixed single. I'll change the control box as false so that I don't have anything else in the window header. Let me change the form name, means form text, as file operations demo. Okay, and we'll have the, I'll change the background color as white. Okay, now let us drag and drop three labels. So we have three labels here. So let me rename them. One is file to be opened. Okay, and the second one, file save as. Okay, third one is file content. Okay, now let's drag and drop the text boxes. So the first text box will be our text box to get the file name, which has to be opened. Okay, let me copy this, paste it again so that I don't have to resize it again. I'm pasting it. Now the third text box alone, I'm making it a little bit bigger. Okay, so for that we need to make it as a multi-line property as y. Okay, so I've just made the multi-line property as true, so that this text box can be expanded. Okay, so now I can have n number of lines inside this, whereas the normal text box will have only one line. So I'm just expanding it a little bit so that we can place it much better. Okay, now in this multi-line text box I wanted a scroll bar, because if the content is beyond this text box size, then we won't be able to see the other content. Okay, means outside the this text box if the content is too huge. So for that we will need the scroll bars. Okay, so here there is a property called scroll bar. It will be none by default. Just click it and select vertical if it is a vertical scroll bar, means you can have both as well. Okay, So it depends on what type of thing. So we can have both as well. So if the text content is exceeding the horizontal size, you can have horizontal as well. Okay, but in general you can have both. Now let me drag and drop two picture boxes. Okay, so I'll tell you why. First let me do that. Okay, the picture box is here. Okay, so one is here. In the picture box I'll just select the image. Okay, so I'll import a local source. Okay, I already have this image. Okay, so this is nothing but a folder image. Why I'm selecting this is this basically a for folder dialog, right? Basically for selecting the file. So for that purpose I'm just click giving this image. You can have any image as per your wish. Okay, so just to have a different view, I'm giving this kind of folder image. Okay, you can have a button, you can have any other image apart from this also. So just to demonstrate this picture box I'm using this, as well as for having the usage of file dialog and open file dialog and save as file dialog. Okay, so what we are going to do is I'm just copying it again and pasting it here. Okay, we get picture box 2 here. So we have two picture boxes here. Okay, so one is for opening the file, which has to be read, and second one is for saving the file, which is to be given here. Okay, so there are two text boxes here. So now I'll just change the font as well. Okay, so that it looks good. I'll just make it 10. I'm just aligning it a little bit so that it looks good. I'll just drag something here. I'm just aligning little bit so that it fits into one single window. Now, okay, now we have the two text boxes for getting the file names and one text box for the file content. Okay, now we'll just drag and drop few buttons here. Okay, the button is for explanation of those read and write operations in Visual Studio, using Visual Basic. Okay, so this is for read file. Okay, now I'll just change the font and color of the button as well so that it looks better. Sorry, it should be white. Okay, so make it this big. I'll just copy this and I'll make another four buttons. Okay, I'll tell you why. One for read, one for write. Okay, and another two for same read write but using a different method. So basically what we are going to see in this video is we are going to read and write files, but reading files are or writing files, there are many methods for this. Okay, so one method which we are going to use in this video is read all the content of a file in one stretch and write all the content of a file in one stretch. Okay, and apart from that we will see how to read in stream way, in a stream basis or a line by line basis. Okay, that also we are going to see, and similarly for writing. So we'll see all the four types. For that's why I've given four buttons here. Okay, now just renaming this text. Now write file. Okay, these are basically these two buttons will basically read and write the files in bulk. Okay, it will not go line by line. This one is for read file uh, stream. Okay, so just to identify that, or otherwise we can give a different name, read stream. Okay, this will be write stream. This video is basically for showcasing how to use the file operations. Okay, how to read and write the files in using Visual Studio or Visual Basic.net. Okay, now we'll have one more button for just closing the window. Okay, that's on the below, so it will be just close. Okay, the simplest thing which you can write in Visual Basic is just click this, just give end. That's all. This will end the entire solution. Okay, so we have written one code. Now the next code is for reading the file. Okay, but before doing this, we'll write codes for these two. So for getting a file dialog or a save as dialog, we need a special tool from this, so which is nothing but the file dialog. Okay, here it is, open file dialog. Okay, and so here it is. Just double click it, so open file dialog one will appear here. Next, same thing, save as file dialog. Okay, so it is here, just double click it. So you get two different tools. It won't be visible in the front end, it will be showcased here because it's kind of a function. It is not a tool which is visible in the front end because it has to be called from back end only. You cannot straight away open it from the front end. Okay, so but you can call it from the front end actions. That's what we are going to do now. So for file to be opened, on click of this we need the file open dialog. Okay, so we need to open the file dialog to select the file which we want to read. Okay, so double click this now. Sorry, now open file dialog dot show dialog. So this will basically show the dialog box of open file. Similarly for this, save as file dialog dot show dialog. So we have written the coding to open the file, open file dialog and save file dialog on clicking this one and this one. Okay, these two picture boxes. Now we have coded these two, but we need to save the content selected from this or this dialog to the text box so that we can process it further, right? So for that purpose we will double click on this open file dialog. Now before writing the code for this open dialog, we need to rename these text boxes. Okay, then only we can easily identify which text box is for what. Okay, now I'll just rename this text box. Okay, txt underscore, this is for open file dialog. Okay, next one, this is for save, right? So txt underscore save as dialog. Okay, now this is for the content display, so txt file display. So we have three text boxes and all the three has been renamed. Now coming back to this, so open file dialog, we already opened it. Now when we click the file from the open file dialog, it has to save the file to the text box. So txt, uh, we need it on the open file dialog, right? So dot text equals to open file dialog dot file name. Okay, this will give the entire file name with along with the path to the text box which is there. Okay, so upon clicking this, automatically when you select the file inside this file dialog, it will automatically save that file or showcase that file in this text box. Similarly for save file dialog. Okay, so here txt underscore save file dialog dot text equals to save file dialog one dot file name. Now these two things are done. Now upon selecting this, we got the file names. Okay, so if you want to open existing file, you are selecting this at this picture box and we are getting the file which is to be opened, but we have not yet opened it. Okay, similarly for save, we are selecting the file, the new file name will be appearing here along with the path. So this is also done. Now we need to read the file which has been placed here, right? So for that, click on this. Now here what we will do, we will define a string variable, okay, because we need to store that somewhere. We'll name it as v underscore file content, okay, as string. So v underscore file content equals to what we will do in the normal read operation where we are reading the entire file in one stretch. We will use the system functionalities and modules. So my dot system dot file system dot, it should not be system, it should be computer, okay. I was wondering why it is not coming, okay. Dot uh, file system dot read all text, okay. Inside this we will give the file which needs to be read. So we already have it in the txt open file dialog.txt, right? So that will be taken as input for this file system dot read all text. So this is the function available with this system, okay. So we are using the file system module with all read all text function to read the text, okay. So automatically this will read and it will give it to v underscore file text variable. Now we have to display that, right? So file display dot text equals to v underscore file content, okay. Now the entire file is visible here, okay, means it will be displayed in this text box. So this functionality is complete. Now similarly for write, okay, so for writing we will take the same this thing, okay, but what we will do, we will use write all, okay. So for that my dot computer dot file system dot write all text, okay. Write all text. Inside this the first thing which we need to give as a parameter is the file name which we want to write, the new file name. So txt save as dialog dot text, comma, the what is the content of the file, txt file display dot text, comma, false. Why I'm giving false is the if you give true it will append the text whatever is there in the text box file display text box. So if the file is already present, then the file will be appended with this text, okay. So if we save the same file again, then automatically it will have a duplicate value. I'll tell you why, I'll explain you during the running of this program, okay. So at the moment you treat it as false, okay, I'm not appending it. If it is true it will append, that's the parameter value, okay. So next thing what we'll need to code is, we have coded two buttons, okay. Now read stream. So what is this stream reading? Stream reading is like reading line by line, okay. So there are different types, okay, over here. So what we are going to do here is we are going to read line by line, okay. So before starting to code this, we need to define some variables. One, okay, so one is sr, stream reader, okay. So as stream reader, if you write like this, it automatically it will take the system IO, because you are using the reader, it has to interact with the internal IO operations of the system. That's why it is importing system IO, okay. You may ask why it did not import for this particular my computer, because this functionality has the IO operations internally inbuilt inside this, okay. So it does not need the IO mandatorily, but this stream reader will need this imports. If you are not doing, if you are not giving this, it might throw error depending upon your system functionality is present, okay. Next, dim sw, sorry, stream writer, yes, w as stream writer. Okay, now we have two variables, one for stream reader sr and one for stream writer sw. Okay, now we will use these two for reading and writing the file. Okay, so the first thing which we are going to do now is for button 3, it is stream reader. Okay, so we are going to read sr equals to new stream reader. Here we need to give the file which we are going to read. So file open file dialog dot text. So this is the only value. So automatically the stream reader will point to this particular file. Okay, now we need the content. Okay, so file content has to be initialized, so before reading the file, otherwise it will, if it has some other value before, it will take that value also. Okay, so we are just initializing it, we are making it clean. Okay, next what we'll do, we'll do a while loop. Okay, while not sr dot end of stream, till the end of file is reached we need to read, right? We may not know when it is ending, right? We do not know the number of lines of the file, so we need to give a condition like end of, until the end of stream or end of file is reached, the file has to be read. So that's why we are using a while loop. Okay, we do not know the exact size of the file, so till it is reaching the end of the file we need to read. So like that we are giving the condition. So not of sr dot end of stream, end of stream means till the end of file is reached. Okay, now we need to have one string variable. Okay, so that we can read line by line. Okay, so for that I'll define as v underscore line. Okay, so this variable will contain one string, single line text. Okay, means one single line's value. So v underscore line equals to sr dot read. Okay, read line. Okay, read line is the method inside the stream reader which will read one single line at one time. Okay, so when you go in, when this code goes into the while loop, the first thing which it will do, it will try to read and it will store it in the v line. Okay, variable. Now we need to concatenate it before we show it in the display. That is, before showing it in the text box we need to concatenate, because line by line reading is okay but we cannot display like that, right? So it will be like a tedious thing if we want to display line by line. So rather what we will do, we will concatenate all the lines which has been read and we will display in one stretch. Okay, so for that what we will do, we will use the file content. Okay, this is what we are going to have as the final string. Okay, so in this we will concatenate with whatever text which is there previously. Along with this we will have v underscore line plus what we will do, vb new line. Why I'm adding new line is because we are reading line by line. Okay, but if we don't add a new line character at the end, it will start displaying, or it will start concatenating all the text which is read line by line in one single line. So if we remove this, all the content read, there are, if there are say 10 lines, all the 10 lines will be read and it will be stored as one line in this variable. Okay, so which is wrong, right? It would have read line by line, but it is storing as one single line, means it will be wrong and it won't be meaningful. So for that purpose we are using this vb line. Okay, vb line is nothing but a system defined function for printing the new line character in the text. Okay, so we will have some other video which we will, where we can try to do ASCII level codings for text files and all. So we'll do some other video on that. But for this video we are using vb line which will print the new line character. Okay, there are other methods of file writing also. Okay, there are delimited based writing, there are delimited based reading as well, so which we will try to use in some other example. Without example, if we try to explain those functionalities, it would be difficult to understand. Okay, so next is like we have read the file, like the entire loop will run, all the file content will be stored like in this v file content. Now what we will do, we will display that. Okay, so file display dot text equals to v underscore file content, because all the file lines have been read and it has been concatenated, right, till the end of the file. This while loop will run and it will start storing all the lines one by one. So this entire v file content will have the full content of that particular file. Now we have displayed. So once this is done, what we need to do is, okay, what we need to do is we need to close. Okay, so we now sr dot close. So whatever stream reader we are using, we need to close it before we do something else. Okay, then what we will do, we will put a message box saying that we have completed the load. Okay, load complete. I'm not giving any other this thing. Okay, so it's a small simple text box, so I'm not giving any condition exclamation or, okay, we'll do that. That would be better also. So comma, this will be the text, and we'll have one title. Okay, title will be like file operations, comma. Okay, this should be fine. Okay, so we are giving a message saying that load is complete, file operations. Now this is done for reading, stream reading. Similarly we'll do for stream writing. Okay, so here in the same way how we did for stream reading, we'll do for stream writer. Okay, so sw equals to new stream writer. Okay, here in the same way we need to give the new file name. Okay, so .txt, then .txt. Okay, now again I'm initializing the file content, so v underscore file content equals to this. Now I need to initialize one variable. Okay, we do not know how much big is the content in the text box, so for that purpose dim lino comma dot lin as integer. I'm defining those two variables for storing the line number and the total number of lines. Okay, so we need to go line by line. So for that purpose, okay, so the first variable will be lino. What is this? This is for the current line. Okay, lino, and the next one tot lin is for the total number of lines in the text box. Okay, so txt, so we do not know the total lines, right, in this text box, how much ever it can be. So for that we need to use lines dot count. So this will give the total lines present in that text box. Okay, so that will be taken as the total count. Now after this we will again use the while loop in the same way, but not in the using end of stream. We will use a different method. So we need to go line by line. So first, so using lino we will traverse. Okay, if lino is less than tot lino, then we will start going inside the loop. Okay, inside this loop we will have the lino, sorry, not lino, we will have the v underscore line. We need to get the line data, right? So for that txt line, file display dot lines dot, sorry, not dot, lines of lino. So what this does is we will get the exact specific lines data. Okay, so if we give lines of 0, that means the first line. If we give lines of 1, it will go for the second line. So it starts from 0 till end of line, whatever the total number of lines, whatever it is there. So it will read line by line. We are not reading all the text at once, it is reading line by line. Okay, so we are storing that line in the v underscore line variable. Now we are going to write it. So we read it, now we are writing. So sw dot stream sw dot write line, because it's sw, it's already a streamline, a stream writer, right? So sw dot write line, inside write line we will have the v underscore line. That is the text which we are writing. We have already defined the file where we have to write, so we are just defining the line which we need to write. Then we need to increment the line number, right? So for that, lino equals to lino plus 1. Okay, so we are incrementing and it will do the entire loop till we reach the total number of lines. Okay, we forgot. So since total number of lines will return the exact number of lines which is there, we need to do a minus 1 since we are starting from 0, right? So it has to be minus 1. So it will do the exact number of lines, otherwise it will go inside and it will say the line is not present. Okay, now the same way how we closed, similarly for sw dot close, we need to close the stream writer. Again we are going to give a message box saying that the file is saved. Okay, so here save complete. Okay, that's all for this. Now let us try executing this. So it has loaded now. Now let's try opening the file. So the uh, file dialog is opened successfully. Now let's go to some test area. Okay, I already stored some text. Okay, this is the test file which I have already written and stored. Okay, so I'm just selecting that. Okay, now I'm clicking open. So now the file has been taken to the text box. Okay, so now we know what file has to be read. Okay, so now I'll read the file. See, now I have read the file. It has read all the content of the file at once. Okay, now it did not do anything. It just used that read all text function which was there, which we defined inside this button. Okay, now if I want to save this, okay, I can say thanks and regards. I'm just changing this much. Okay, now if I write the file, it will throw out an error saying that the file is not there because there is no parameter given there. So for that we need to give the parameter there. Okay, if we want, we can handle it in using a if clause. We have not done that for these two. We have had done that for these two buttons, right? So we will just click on this. We will read it. Okay, now we will just select the same file but with a different name. Okay, I'm just saving it with a different name. So now this is a save as dialog. Okay, so I'm just clicking save. It doesn't save as such, it is only giving the full file name along with the path. Okay, that's what we have written. We can save it also on click of ok. Okay, so I'll tell you where to write that. Okay, so we can use the same save file dialog to save it directly instead of doing it in through these buttons. Okay, so I'll place it where it is. Okay, now let's write it. So on click of write file it should write. Okay, now it has written. Let's see it has taken. So now the file 2 has thanks. Okay, so I did not write it. Okay, yeah, we need to write a different word. Regards, it's the same word, that's why it's the showing the same thing. Okay, now let us try writing a different file because it's already present. I'm writing as 3. So now it has written. We did not give a message box, we should have given that. Okay, now yes, thanks and regards, it has come. So the file has been written to the system. Now let's try to load it through stream reader. So stream reader is also doing the same thing, but line by line it has been read by the system. Okay, now let us try writing this comma. Regards, I'm giving it as learn with Nevas. Okay, file save complete. So I've written the same thing to file text 3. So now let's see whether it has written to the same file. Yes, it has written to the same file. So you can use the same file also, but be careful while doing it, because it might do an append operation if you give that append parameter as true. So okay, so that's all guys, so with for this video. So I hope this video is understood by you for using the file objects, okay, file functions which are there with the system using Visual Studio. I, if you have any doubts with this, you can message me through the comment section. I'll try to clarify them. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, press like button and subscribe for more videos like this.